The content provided in this podcast is provided as general information. It is not intended as, nor does it constitute financial, tax, legal, investments, or other advice. We accept no responsibility from any loss arising as a result of your reliance on information contained in this podcast, any related communication, or on our app. With money, it's always great to, start at the beginning, or with anything, to begin at the beginning. And money, much like your dating life, has a turbulent and somewhat torrid history. But we'll pepper in a couple of, little
maybe yours
anecdotes. And I'd also like to take the opportunity to say, the majority of our advice comes from a couple of failed economics matric papers and, whatever my dad yells at the TV while he's watching the news. So take our advice like you take cow's milk.
What?
Exactly.
How do you take cow's milk?
You don't, because oats has won. Oat milk being milked, the cows, they don't know what to do with themselves because they've lost out to an oat. How is that even remotely possible?
This is off to a chaotic start. But like you said, let's begin at the beginning.
Okay.
So if we take it back to the history of money, Mesopotamia had the shekel, which was actually the first currency in use. Crazy. And it was 5,000 years ago.
Jeepers.
I know.
I love the shekel. Such a lovely sounding.
To me, it's a bit too close to shackle.
Yes, and instead of liberating you like money does, it imprisons you. But sometimes money also imprisons you.
True.
And conversations around money, which are tough to have. But again, back to the...
More on that later.
But
of course, Mesopotamia doesn't exist anymore.
Well, I don't think Mesopotamia ever has. I think Mesopotamia is more of a place. Yeah.
But it's now modern day Iraq, Kuwait, Syria, and Turkey.
All must-see holiday destinations. If you're an American trying to find oil, of course. But no, that is interesting. And these ancient societies like Zimbabwe, the breadbasket of Africa, no longer. There's not even bread in the aisles. Apologies to our Zimbabwean viewers and listeners, but we want to, across this podcast series, chat really about money because it's a real taboo topic. People don't chat about it. We're scared to talk about it, and that's for various reasons. And in unpacking those, it's quite important, I think, to understand the functions of money, because money in and of itself holds zero value. It's, it's paper and dirty coins that, how are those shops that don't accept cash anymore? How cocky. But anyway, I'm sure we'll get to that a bit later. But the main thing, the core function of money is it does facilitate exchange because it carries value that we've assigned to it. Kind of like, crystals that you find in, women's bedrooms. They're not valuable unless you assign. Hey, Chloë, wouldn't you say that's the truth, or your crystals
No.
all powerful?
They're valuable.
Okay.
They are all powerful.
What gives them the value?
When I'm in times of struggle, charge them up. They're meant to be anxiety reducing, allow you to have good sleep. So far, they don't really work. But
okay. It reminds me a bit of what Warren Buffett once said. Money ain't a thing, I remain blinged up. I don't know if that was Buffett. It might have been Rick Ross. Money is also very important in our society because it does bring diverse groups together, which is particularly important in South Africa. We love to be diverse. Sometimes we brag a bit too much about all our languages Rainbow Nation. Well, but that's neither here nor there. But it does enable us to cross those cultural barriers. We can exchange. Instead of goods and bartering, that sort of stuff, we have money, which is, you might say that's pretty obvious, but can you imagine bartering in the 21st century?
That would be hilarious.
It would be a mess. Imagine, I've got this, I'm a graphic designer and I've got this cool logo, but now I want a sheep. How on earth is my logo going to get me a sheep? Who facilitates this conversation?
Why, in what world would you be exchanging your graphic design? Probably your shit graphic design for a sheep.
That's a bit presumptuous, but probably also
I'd be hungry. But also in South Africa, it's a medium of state power.
Yes, that's true.
Of course, like the social grant system, remittances, money does play a really important role.
Well, I'd love the government to give me some remittances, but, and even just in terms of our tax system, because if you don't have that, well, then what can the state do? And of course, we are the land of the tenderpreneur. I think I said that sounds like something you could get at Nando's.
Chicken tenderpreneur.
Yeah. But what?
Yeah, I love that word. And then, of course, it's also linked to status.
Absolutely.
And especially in South Africa, we are such a divided country economically. So yeah, money is a difficult thing to talk about. It's awkward. And it's a tough topic in South Africa.
It is. And like anything in South Africa, apartheid comes up. And that is true because it caused massive socio-economic divisions that exist to this day. And that's deeply terrible. But a side note, that's not so terrible. Just pepper in socio-economic whenever you want to, impress, I don't know, a grade 3.
Grade 3.
No, I think that's, you meeting your girlfriend's parents. Ah, yes, the socio-economic foundations of this house are good. You see, that doesn't make sense, but they'll at least know you care enough to pretend to be intelligent. And that's massive. But yeah, so I often think we do, not that we get overly involved in apartheid. I'm not trying to belittle it whatsoever. I think 10 out of 10 South Africa, actually no, 9 out of 10 because one's going to be racist. But 9 out of 10 South Africans would agree.
Yeah.
Not a good time, pretty atrocious.
Yeah.
Etc. etc. You'd hope. But when it comes to that, we often just think that's where our divisions end at along racial lines, black, white, colored. Whereas South Africa is so diverse across cultural lines as well. We've got, 150 languages that get spoken here, all the cultural practices that come along with that. So it's more than that, and money plays a crucial role, but also those cultures play a crucial role conversely in how we view money.
Oh, for sure. And South Africa is such a conservative country, like really when you think about it.
Yeah, look at this tattoo. Can you see it? You probably can't because it's so small, but that's the reason I'm unemployed. Not really.
Yeah.
It's my lack of ambition.
But I also mean like around money.
Yes, no, for sure.
Tattoos as well, of course.
But also money.
And
you also need money to have tattoos. Have you noticed that? They don't
I know.
do freebies anymore.
Those deposits that you have to pay.
They're no longer practicing.
You want to get a little lion heart, and they're like, that'll be 800 rand.
Sure. For your scribbles. No thanks, good sir. I'm going to trade my graphic design for a sheep instead. But, so in continuing with that, understanding of how South Africans view money and how conservative we are about money, I think it's important that we continue those traditions. So, Chloë, how much money do you have as of right now in your bank account? And if you don't tell us, we're going to kick you off the show.
Listen. It's not looking good, bro. It is not looking. But you see, like, even when you ask me that question, like, I just can't bring myself to say.
Yeah.
I really am being serious. Like, there's not a lot in there. But I had to send my bank statement to a company. And I was like, this is embarrassing.
It's embarrassing. But do you think
it's
in a country like South Africa, it's a fear of being judged or a fear of being robbed?
Both.
Oh, that's a no-go.
Both. And guys, let's be honest, both. Imagine someone, they come and they break into your house, come to steal your money, and then they see how much money you have, and they're like, actually, you could keep this.
Leave a couple of 100 rand for the broken window. Sorry, man.
Sorry. No, you can keep that. But like imagine if we had to walk around with our like net worth stapled to our foreheads.
First of all, where are you getting them staplers from? That is...
painful. No, maybe like stuck, like a sticker.
Okay, but yeah. I think that's quite fun. But in South Africa, I fundamentally don't believe we care about net worth because we're just concerned about jobs. But,
fair.
If you are interested in what your net worth is, it's not like what Gary Vee says. It's not, your net worth isn't your net work. Well... Actually, maybe I like that. So I'm stop peppering that in.
I think differently.
Yeah. Maybe socio-economic in that statement, that'll change my life. Yeah. That'll change the way the world works. But no, if you actually are interested, because the only time I look up net worths is I'll be watching a movie or series and we watch Stranger Things. Be like, okay, Millie Bobby Brown, net worth. Oh, God.
And she's how old?
And Drake's DMing her. And why aren't we speaking more about that? Because she was like 14. But anyway, Champagne Puppy. Anyway, I want to start making wild claims about Drake. But it is, quite simply put, your assets minus your liabilities.
Okay.
And if your boyfriend is indeed a vape smoking, non-job having, ashtray looking boy, well, then he might be a liability queen.
Ashtray looking boy.
Yeah. Imagine someone says, hey, you look like an ashtray. Wow.
Probably smells like one too, or maybe like strawberry. But anyways, yeah, it's crazy. I saw this article speaking about net worths, and
was this a news article or something you saw on TikTok?
We always, I'm like,
because TikTok's not the news, but it's also a great platform.
I do see a lot of stuff on TikTok, I'll be honest, but this was actually an article.
Okay. TikTok is actually probably more real than the news, but more on that later. And when I say later, probably never.
TikTok's a new Facebook. Like, I saw this article. Mom? Which one of your friends shared this? But the average income in South Africa is around 23,000 Rand, which I just I can't believe that, right?
Below average yet again.
I know. How below average yet again am I? But yeah, it's just crazy. I mean, that I think highlights our massive wealth disparity. Even more terrifying is our unemployment rate, 34%.
That is the unemployment rate, pass rate, similar figures, cause for concern.
Maybe they have something to do with each other.
Well, no, that makes it sound like we're just blaming South Africans. I don't think so. We'd never. When the Springboks lose, we don't say it's because we're bad. It's because the ref. It's always not our fault. So it's the same with unemployment. It ain't our fault, which it probably isn't to a degree, and it probably is to a certain degree.
But I think that it does go to say why talking about money is so hard. And why it can be such a difficult topic to navigate in relationships and friendships. And I think that leads us perfectly to the first thing that we want to talk about is friends and money. Do they mix?
That is a good question. It's one I've spent many a year and many a failed transaction thinking about because, and just to be
thought deeply about this.
Really, I have.
Do they mix it up?
I think they should mix. And I just want to clarify where I think they should mix. And that's in a conversational level and then sometimes in an actual real life transactional level. But I think younger people, hold your horses, being young is a mindset. But younger people really should facilitate more conversations with each other about money. We should speak more openly about money, taxes, what are we saving? We should be more transparent in terms of, hey, yes, I've got a car that's way nicer than yours, but my parents bought it. Or I can't go out with you tonight because I don't have any money. It's not because I'm not your bestie. We will, have kids together. Well, no, our kids will grow up together. It's quite hard.
We're all going to have kids together. Start a house.
But I'm not talking about going into business with your friends and money. That's a different thing.
Aye, guys,
we've all had a t-shirt business proposed to us. The design's going to change the world, and it's probably not. So
this sounds personal.
Yeah, it is. Get your 10,000 Rand deposit back on that.
Rand. Yeah, but like you've touched on, honesty is really important. Trust, of course. If you're going to loan your friend some money, there should be trust that they'll pay you back. If they say that they can pay you back. Because I think that that's where it comes in, where friends and money mixing, it is that sort of that's maybe when they don't mix.
Yes.
When they don't pay you back and that leads to resentment, that can be hard.
And I think the final part in the holy trinity of honesty, trust is communication, because the amount of people I've given money and the amount of people I owe money who are good friends, I just can't remember, to be honest. It's not because I'm the next Shabir Sheikh. It's just because, we've forgotten. So communicating that openly and having, apps like the Spot Money app where you can track payments and it's easy to transact. And you're sitting at home, you're like, when's the plug coming? There it is. And that's a full voltage high use plug right there, because of course this podcast is brought to you by Spot Money, and they are a big part in facilitating these conversations. And of course their digital banking offering makes all of this sort of stuff a lot easier. So we'll get into that a bit more as we go down, and we'll do a couple of interviews as the series progresses about people in certain positions and how how money is changing in the 21st century. But for now, we really just are mainly focused on how are we dealing with money? How are we speaking about money? And when do you feel very awkward about friends and money mixing, or situations where you're like, I wish we had been more open about this or transparent?
I can tell you immediately.
With no further
Immediately. Splitting a bill at a restaurant.
Oh God, why is that so awkward?
Nothing gives me more anxiety than that, because so you're either all going to be like, okay, we're going to split this evenly, work out everyone's tips. But then obviously, especially when you're younger, it's like, no, I only had a Coke and half of the pizza, like that's all I'm going to do. Yeah. So, and then it's like, if your friend's like, only tip, the guy's like 5% is not enough. And I think if you can't tip, don't go out.
Yes, I think that was like a pretty universal rule introduced. It's like if you can't tip, then, well, one, you financially shouldn't be eating out. Jesus, that sounded rude. Yeah. But also it's like, come on, be a better person. I find the people who don't tip are always the people with the most money. But again,
chat for another time. But I also think, whenever we go out, like my way around it is I calculate.
You do the bill.
I do everybody's everything, and I make sure it makes sense.
Chloe the accountant. Hey, good to see you. You owe us X.
Schnuppies?
Schnuppies and Coke. Yeah, that's a common order. I've just realized my hair is tied up.
You're looking lovely.
Okay, well, so are you. It's. If you're listening, thank you for listening. If you're watching, thank you for watching and looking at us. It is a new format. Everyone. Hey, how can it be a podcast if it's visuals? And that's a good question.
But we're here. We're doing
it. People love the vodcast term.
But Sammy, I think that this is the perfect time
to get my hair down.
To get your hair down, get loose. We're going to play Spot a Friend.
Oh, Spot a Friend. Chloe, give us a bit of context about Spot a Friend, because it is exciting.
It is. So it's going to be that we tell them we need 500 Rand. Get us out of a situation. If they agree to give us that 500 Rand, we'll spot them 500 Rand.
Yes.
And they'll pass the friendship test, of course.
And this is all sort of based on, it's easiest to transfer money over the Spot app. So that's where the transaction will take place. So to get the 500, you got to have the Spot Money app. Yeah. So no such thing as a free lunch. You ever heard of economics before, our dear listeners and viewers?
Socio-economic.
Yeah. So I'm going to phone Ben.
Okay.
He's a restaurant owner in Cape Town who we've befriended mainly because of free food. But hey, let's see if he hopefully picks up. This is like when I try and phone my dad. What you want, boy? Paul?
Hello?
Hello, Ben.
Hi.
Yes, it's me, Sam.
Hi, Sam. How are you?
Not too well. And you bit of a problem. Things are not going well.
How can I help?
How can I help? That's what I like to hear. Basically, I need 500 Rand. And before you get kind of weird about it, it's about my license. Ben, I'm currently handcuffed on the M3.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear.
You know how that be. And it's to my Fiat 500, so no one's impressed. It's not a Hilux.
You are handcuffed to your car.
Yes, the police, they're doing new things these days, Becky and the gang.
That's a bit of a pickle.
Would it be possible to transfer me 500 Rand soonest?
Yeah, how do you want me to do that?
I forgot Ben was rich.
Yeah.
We should have phoned a poorer friend. Ben, thank you very much. I mean, you can probably hear that I'm not on the M3, but we will be sending you 500 Rand. Due to you being such a good sport, all we need you to do is download the Spot Money app so we can facilitate that transfer.
Sorry, please repeat that. Which app?
The Spot Money app. I don't know where you're banging around, or I don't know if you're in construction these days, but I'll send you the details. And it's easier than ever, so I'll just shoot that across to you. But thank you for the 500 Rand. You've now got 500 Rand. So,
thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys. So we'll chat soon. Keep doing what you do. Love the sushi. Toodles.
Thank you, bye.
What is he doing in the background? Bah, bah, bah.
You see, if you want to be rich like Ben, you just got to be working. With we should have phoned someone poorer than Ben.
How can I help?
I have phoned.
Sam.
He's also bailed me out of quite a few situations. I think if Sam's
just
phoning,
used
you
to
know
it.
you're in trouble.
He's just used to it at this point. Oh my goodness.
But that's great. So yeah, if you want to, stand a chance, we'll also open up social media lines so we can phone strangers as well. You'll just have to have downloaded the Spot Money app, and then
Carl Wasty.
yeah. And it won't always be me, because then you'll know if you hear this voice that you might be getting 500 rand. So would you have, I wouldn't have given him handcuffed to a car.
No shame.
I think he knew I was up to something though. I must work on my acting.
Yeah.
But it's that easy, and it's also very quick with
Yeah.
Spot. The second thing one of our other main topics before we skedaddle out of here is, flex culture. Because that's also very important to young people. So Chloe is the guiding light of the show and everything we do in life. So Chloe, let us know what flex culture is. I've got a rough idea, but not one as eloquent as probably that you have.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I'm not even going to give the definition. I found one on Urban Dictionary.
Okay.
The most trusty source.
Second to Wikipedia.
Yeah. And it's the behavior of deliberately showing yourself off and your personal belongings in the goal of giving yourself higher value in front of other people.
Ah, okay.
To flex on them.
Flex on the haters.
Flex on them.
Flexi. Yeah. I couldn't rhyme anything else. Flexiglass.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, this isn't like, if you don't understand it, first of all, just go look at the Kardashians' Instagram. But
that's sex culture. Oh no, that's Kim Kardashian only. Wow. That was even worse than I thought.
What I was saying. But no, this isn't even just celebrities. It might be your friends. Like you see them posting with a Lamborghini. That's not theirs. They're in a random parking lot.
What is that with people posing with cars? I've never got it. Because it's not theirs.
New Gucci belts, but they've actually maxed out their credit card,
No. I think the easiest way to look at flex culture is is that person behaving like a dick? Oh, they are. Yep, flex culture.
This is such bullshit. Sam literally said the other week that you would sell me for a Rolex.
If anything, that's overvaluing how much you would cost.
Yo.
No, wow. No.
Yo.
No.
I'm not going to be here next time.
Yeah,
Sam's going to be new Rolex on.
No. Whilst that does sound like something I might say in jest, that is absolute poppycock. I've never said that to you.
Excuse me.
Rolexes are pretty
Sam
cool.
says wild things. You'll come to
know and love them.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
Flex culture literally is just peer pressure. And instead of getting peer pressured into getting blackout drunk, your credit card is just getting peer pressured into getting blacklisted, and you have to live with your mom now, and things are weird. You've always had a tough relationship with her. She's ultimately tried a lot with you, but when you peel back all that deep set resentment that you have for each other, there's a lot of love. Yeah.
Wow.
We did say we would give you some life advice. That also shouldn't be taken, and I don't know why it always makes me...
Don't get blackout drunk, get blacklisted. Wait, the other way around. Yeah. Actually, none of them.
How big is social media in this, do you think?
Oh, massive. I think ultimately, people want to show themselves off, make themselves feel better than everyone else. Hey, I can afford this. What are you doing with your life?
Yeah.
But meanwhile, they are, in debt.
Exactly.
And it's almost like flexing beyond your means. You know what I mean?
Never do that.
You know what you're capable of at the gym.
Well, some do.
No need to be a hero.
But social media in some parts of America also be wild. I know, Florida, what a place. But some debt collectors in certain regions of America can legally use Instagram to DM you. And this would be you're looking at your phone, you get a DM, woohoo, it's my crush. You're so excited, life is good, and then it's someone chasing up money. It would be terrifying.
What account do you think that these debt collectors message you from? Do you think it's their personal account?
I think the loan sharks now use catfishing. Oh yeah, that's like a little ocean switch up. And they use a hot girl and they DM you, or a hot guy. Come on, guys. Anything's possible in 2022. But you were telling me the funniest story about drinking culture and flex culture in South Africa.
Oh yeah. So it's called the bottle system. Apparently it's pretty big in South Africa. But so you go to a club and you basically, you get a booth, whatever. And you basically pay for a bunch of expensive bottles of alcohol to be put on the table, but you don't open them because you can't afford to open them.
Wait, so I know bottle service where there's like fireworks attached and naked women bring it to you, and I mean that makes sense objectively, but these are just rented.
Yeah. So like, no, it's so weird.
Oh, South Africa.
So
what's going on?
like imagine, you're at the club and like maybe a bunch of girls come up to you. They're like, hey, can we have a bottle of some of your Prosecco, whatever? You're like, I can't open it.
Prosecco. You're like, no, let me see your hands and stay. It's like the COVID rules. No touching. 2 meters, 1.5.
Yeah.
Get away from the table. But no,
it's terrible.
Flex culture is the actual pits. I think, South Africans love to drink and, all power to you. But the amount of money we spend on booze, like people always give me a hard time because I love eating at restaurants. I'm a bit of a snob when it comes to that. And they're like, I can't believe you like eat at restaurants like 2 or 3 times a week. I'm like, I literally spend less on or like what you spend on the weekend. So do what you love and do it with your heart. I think that's the message.
Also not financial advice.
No, also not financial. But the flex culture is crazy. You've got, who was Lil Tay? She blew up the internet.
God,
She'd be crazy, that woman.
Flexing knows no age, truly.
How old was she?
I think she was like 11. I think that she was 11. This is like in 2018. Yo, guys, she's crazy. You should look her up. But she was like, my toilet is worth more than your rent, and like flexing with like $100 bills. And, it was just so crazy.
That's just a wild insult. My toilet is more than.
Fuck.
It's also such an
like
11-year-old. My daddy's toilet is more than. No, that is crazy. But like I said, we're in and out here. We come in, spread some pearls of wisdom, talk a load of nonsense, and ultimately inspire you to have conversations about money. So we're going to end the show off with Cop or Drop.
Oh, yeah.
Which is basically like overrated, underrated. Chloe asks me a few things. I give some unsolicited opinions on them. And then we say goodbye and go our separate ways.
I'm so ready. Cop or Drop. Okay. Cop or Drop, banking fees.
Banking fees drop. What do banks even do? Well, I mean, I know what they do, but they're always hidden, and that's shady. And a certain partner of the show doesn't have hidden fees. I think you can work out who that is.
Okay, cop or drop, Saturday Night Bender.
Saturday Night Bender, I'm going to cop, because life is, after all, about balance. But maybe like when you go to the casino and you've only got 300 Rand, just go with 300 Rand and a planned Uber. Will this, or scheduled Uber, will this plan work? Probably not, but at least you're trying to change. Okay. Or embrace sobriety and Jesus Christ.
Cop or drop, an accountant.
An accountant? Despite being quite boring people, I'm going to have to cop, because taxes, you don't want, Shakira and old Lionel Messi, they've run into a bit of trouble themselves, and rumor has it so have I. But we aren't celebrities, so we're not too big to fail. We the right size to go to jail. That's what
the right size to go to jail.
That's what I live by. But no, I'm going to cop an accountant because you need help, especially if you're not financially literate, which you will be by the time the Spot series ends.
Okay.
2 cents.
Last one. Cop or drop, life insurance.
What? Gee, but Chloe's going to take Chloe's going to take a policy out on me, and I won't be here next week. That's for sure.
Massively.
It's payback for the Rolex.
Yeah.
Life insurance, currently not going to drop. I'm going to drop it. I'm going to live forever.
Okay.
It's a conversation I'm not ready to have. I'm not ready to contemplate my mortality.
Edward Cullen over here. Edward Cullen.
Ed Cullen. I'm actually more of a Jacob from Twilight. I got that Teen Wolf vibe. Why did I say Teen Wolf? Just a wolf vibe, I think. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Thank you so much for joining us. We do certainly hope we facilitated a bit more of a easy conversation about money. Speak to your friends about it. Speak to your friends about this podcast. 2 cents.
Send them this podcast.
Exactly, and then send them money, because a friend in need is a friend.
Indeed.
Who said that? Winnie the Pooh.
Probably.
That's fantastic. But yeah, please.
Maybe Gary Vee.
All the YouTube stuff, we love you for it. Share this around if you enjoyed it. Share it to your friend. Share it to your mom. She might be concerned with all the time you're spending in your room, but if she knows you're becoming financially literate and not signing up to a Andrew Tate Hustlers University online, well then she's probably deeply happy. Chloë, thank you so much. It's always fun to sit down and flap gums with you.
Yeah, hopefully I'll be on here. And you're not with a Rolex.
Yeah, and no life insurance claims filed.
Thank you guys for joining us. Also do all the YouTube things, like, comment, subscribe. You can leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. That'd be awesome. And we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Catch you on the flippity flip. Toodles.
Bye guys.